Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Office Hours with Jess. Today, I'll be giving you some key tips on how to optimize your CV. I've recently had to update mine, so I figured it'd be a good time to share some of my tips and some key things to make sure you do, and some advice that I always give to my students when I'm reviewing CVs. Okay, so I'm actually going to screen share with you all my CV here. Some info is redacted, but um, I'm just going to go over the general format of what your CV should sort of look like. So again, your CV, I always tell people, does not have to look aesthetically nice. This is really just a long list. It's a long list, so it also doesn't have to be like a one-page resume. It could be as long as it needs to be, but it's a long list, just you listing one after the other what you've done. And that's the CV. It doesn't need to have a certain, color scheme or special lines or anything. Really, the more plain it is, quite honestly, the better. Um, if anything, I actually, in updating my CV recently, had to make it even more plain. So this is what it looks like now. And you always start off with, again, just who you are, your education. That's very standard, your training. But then after that, it's really important, and I see this all the time that a lot of students they'll just start sort of listing some work experience, but really what you want to put at the beginning of your CV, because that's when people who are reviewing your CV are paying the most attention, is your best stuff. So your honors and awards, always start with that, and then move on to all of your peer-reviewed publications. Um, Oftentimes, when I look at a lot of people's CVs, they have that at the end, and I'm like, this is the best part of you. Put it at the beginning, showcase that first. So I have my honors and awards listed at the beginning. And another key thing too, as you'll see, you want everything in the same sort of order. So if you start from like earliest to most recent, make sure that's the timeline sequence that you follow throughout your whole CV. So in my CV, I start everything from oldest to newest. Um, so oldest at the top, newest at the bottom. And I do that again, moving on to my publications and everything as well. For your publications, again, you want to list this at the beginning too. I would recommend numbering them so people can just tell right off the bat how many you have. And then another key thing too is also to bold where your name is in the author list. So it's very clear if you were first, middle, or last author in these publications. So again, this is the stuff you really want to showcase, put it at the beginning. So I have all my publications. Oh, another key thing is I got this piece of advice, which is to actually include the links to your articles so that it's just very easy for people to look them up if they want to. So if you can include the direct links or the DOIs for your articles, do include that as well. You can put your publications that are in review, as well as other publications that are not peer reviewed or book chapters. So I have that all listed here. And then I go into all of my conference abstracts. So kind of listed very similarly. I have it numbered as well as my name bolded in the author list. So it's very clear, again, if I was the first author presenter or not. Now, this is really a research heavy CV. If you are doing more teaching, you'll notice. So for me, I list all my research stuff. Then I have all my grants, my current grants, as well as my submitted grants and completed grants. And then I also even list all of the reviews that I've done for journals because this is, showing that you're contributing to the scholarly world. So I have that all listed here as well. And then I start moving into my non-research stuff. So any service to professional organizations and leadership roles that I have in those professional organizations, any service that I do, and then now kind of moving more into giving talks and teaching. So any invited talks that you give, and then again, all the teaching. And, teaching can be any full course you've led, if you were a TA, if you were a guest lecturer, that's all stuff that you can list and show your teaching experience. Again, I sort of have teaching more at the end because this is more of a research heavy CV, but if you want to showcase your teaching more, you can put that up front depending on what kind of position or program you're applying to. Um, and then I do end my CV with just a list of all my trainees and mentees, just to showcase the mentorship that I've done. So this is sort of how I formatted my CV. Again, yours doesn't have to be exactly like this, but I just wanted to show you a sample so you can get an idea of how to format your CV and how to, again, optimize that beginning part of your CV, putting the best stuff up first. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will CV you on another episode of Office Hours with Jess. Thank you.